Hey everyone, it's me Infinite Designer. Today, we are going to make this type of ripple effect in alight motion. Before starting this tutorial, go to our Telegram channel and download this ripple overlay. Now, if you want to make a square video and you have images that are not square, then firstly crop them in square ratio and then use them. Now we can start the editing. So this is my project. First of all, import all the images that you want to edit and place them one by one like this. Here, the duration of one image is 1 second and 15 frames. You can adjust the duration of one image as you want. Now select the first image and go to Effects. Here you will find an effect called Circular Ripple in Distortion and Warp. Add this effect. Now firstly, set the frequency at 5 point. Now come to Strength and add keyframes at the starting and ending point of the image. Now come to starting first keyframe and set the value at 0.05. Now go to last keyframe and set the value at 0 point. Make this type of graph here. Now go to radius and add keyframes at starting and ending point. Set the value to 0 at first keyframe and set the value to 0.80 at last keyframe. Make the similar graph here also. And the basic ripple effect is ready. Now add another effect called Directional Blur from Blur Effects. Now first set the angle to 90 degrees. Now go to Strength and add keyframes at 0 and 0.15 seconds. Now come to first keyframe and increase the value little bit. Apply the same graph here also. Now add keyframes at 1 and 1.15 seconds. Now come to last keyframe and increase the value. Make the similar graph here also, but invert this graph by this button. Now add another effect called exposure and gamma from color and light. Here add keyframes at 1 and 1.15 seconds in exposure. Now increase the exposure at the last keyframe like this. Make this similar inverted graph here also. Now open the circular ripple effect and click on these three dots. Copy this effect from here. Now add this ripple effect on the second image and paste the effect property that we have copied from the first image. Do this same with every image. Now copy the directional blur effect and paste it on every image similarly as we have done with the ripple effect. Similarly, paste the exposure effect also to every image. Now the effect work is done. Now simply add our Now go to blending options and set that on screen. Place this overlay when the image starts. Duplicate this overlay and place at the starting point of every image. Now we have to animate the images to add some movement. For that, first invisible all the overlay layers by this I button. Now select the first image and go to the scaling options. Now add keyframes at the starting and ending point of the image. Now come to first keyframe and scale the image like this. Now make this similar graph here also. Now you got this type of animation. Repeat the same process and animate every image that you have. When you are done, then visible the overlay layers again. Now export your video. Now make another project and import this video. Now go to Effects and add an effect called Sharpen from Blur Effects. Now increase the strength value to achieve the sharp kind of look. Now add another effect called Vignette from Mate, Mask and Key Effects. Adjust the size, roundness, strength and feather value to achieve this type of cinematic look. And you are done. We have simply created the trendy ripple effect using alight motion. You can also use short video clips instead of images to make it more interesting. Subscribe now to get more tutorials like this.